if you do your selection properly, mainly based on your cash flow, you can't go wrong. Allah will put barakah in it, and He will reward you from the places you can't even imagine. So if we have that approach, I think that we have to get out of this mentality. I have to have this secure transaction, otherwise I'm not going to do it. I suggested it in Kuwait because I've been mentioning it all along, and our governor Ishrat Hussain Saab, forgive me for Ishrat Hussain Saab said this is a very good idea. You start off with discussing a huge project and go to a connected ijara. You have very good project financing. Not for 1 year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years. You change the idea. You have solutions. They're all there for you. And as it has been mentioned by other people as well as Dr. Usman, Ishtihad, and also Dr. Abbas mentioned. You know, Ishtihad, you get reward if you twice, if you get two reward if you're right. But if you're wrong, you happen to wrong, but you are sincere in your effort, you get no reward. So there is reward for doing research, for doing ijtihad, trying to find a solution. What are we waiting for? You know, when I read in press, especially in the West, a company did not do well, defaulted on a loan, and the bank is willing to take equity in that loan and provide it working capital so that once the company is doing well, it will get its money back. It brings my faith so much closer to Islamic life. There is solution. But main thing is you have to have faith. You see, I heard that Dr. Abbas this morning said something, and that if that is the case, I'm sure people would have quoted rightly. He said our mind is in Islamic language, is our heart there. That brought me to read another share from Iqbal. He said, बेहतर है दिल के साथ रहे पास पाने आप लेकिन कभी कभी इसे तन्हा भी छोड़ दे. It's always best to have your wisdom close to your heart. But there are times when you have to leave wisdom away and bring your heart in. If we are to do Islamic banking, we don't have to always go for a very secure environment where our shareholders are happy with us and they are saying, well done, Mr. X, this is your bonus. We have to see that when we meet our maker, would we be able to say, I did what pleased him? Or would we say, I did what my shareholder pleased? Please don't take me wrong. I'm not after charity work by Islamic banks. Not at all. This sector will only progress if there is sustainable basis for it to do well. But what Dr. Ishrat, me, Dr. Abbas, Dr. Imran Usmani, Dr. Habshi, we are all saying is, nobody is stopping you from making money. Use the right products which have the real connection with the economy, where the people's welfare is also associated with their activity, where people benefit from your business and you benefit from them. Nobody is stopping you. And like I suggested, you can make more money. And there is nothing wrong with that. What I will say from State Bank's perspective we are trying our best. And it's not a single person to credit. I must tell you this. So it's not Saeed Ahmed, it's the whole team, including the board, including Sharia scholar, including the management, which is part of this. And Alhamdulillah, I was so pleased to see the headline where the governor of State Bank was quoted that he is supporting the Islamic banking. That is what we need. Everybody to have the ownership. Once they have the ownership, you will move faster. But if this ownership is attached with only certain individual, individuals come and go. Saeed Ahmed is here today, gone tomorrow. But if the system accepts it and system takes it as something which they need to implement, then Said can come, go, Ishtar can come and go, Dr. Saab can come and go, but the momentum is there. And that's what we are trying. And on that account, I am going to request you to make dua. And you might say that we are here to attend a seminar, we are not in a Milad Sharif or anything. But my dua is tomorrow we have a meeting at State Bank Financial Law Review Committee where we have recommended and I have taken the pain to suggest those activities in Islamic banking law which are dreams and which are true Islamic banking, which is banks to be able to do trading, banks to be able to do projects, banks to be able to have warehouses for distribution. If that happens, and that's why I'm asking you to pray and make dua, that happens, then you have the real spirit of Islam. And inshallah, this need that we need to have only the government paper, only then we will go, it will be eradicated. At the same time, I do understand that there are certain prudential regulations, there are BIS, there is Basel III, which is as much applicable to the Islamic banks as to the other banks. We have to find solutions for those. And solutions are, we have to go out of our territory. Can we use the support in Malaysia if we don't have any foreign exchange restriction, which we can do? That's sovereign support. Can we use that? With the deposits we have from the foreign depositors, we can ask the regulator and we can make a case that I don't have enough school. Then I use AAA rated corporate schools to replace the government school. We have to come out of the box. We use this terminology a lot, out of the box solution. But think, do we? Or we are so much confined ourselves, we don't even ask about it from the people who are in the authority, and I'm not, and despite of the fact that I'm deputy governor, because it's a process which takes place collectively. Ask them, force them, guide them, make a case that this is best for Islamic banking. So Islamic banking should be able to lead them to where you want it to lead, rather than you confine yourself to this state bank's regulation. I cannot challenge you. Why not? Until we reach that point, I don't think we'll get anywhere. I can't say how pleased I am to hear what Dr. Yafur said about IMF, about State Bank to have the monetary policy taking account of the Islamic finance, and similarly the government of Pakistan making fiscal policy taking into consideration the principle of Islamic finance. Once that starts being done, I think we will reach an ideal position what we are aiming for. I'm very sorry to say that I was getting along, one or two more points, and then I'll close myself. Certainly, research and development like Someone's plans are set and he's working on it, is covered in what I suggested about Istihar. Similarly, Irfan Sadiq Saab is right that they don't need money, they need opportunities to invest, and he's absolutely right. But opportunities are need to be looked for, they have to be sought, they have to be found, they have to be mined. So we have to work harder on that. Similarly, Mahmoud Rashid Saab said that we have to bring the Sharia security. And that's where I said, if we be able to go to our maker and say, yes, whatever I did it as per your Sharia. And Dr. Usmani, Imran Usmani, I already said that Allah will send you help from a place where you can't even imagine when he wants to go you, and we have to feel for you. With all that, I'm sorry if I got it wrong, a bit emotional, a bit too much attached with the subject. I must thank you very much for your attention. Without
conclusion and providing an overall overview of what Islamic banking should do. And inshallah, we pray that for the success of industry and all the initiatives that we are taking. Now, with this, I conclude this session and
Thank you, Ahmed. We will now start the thermometric distribution ceremony. I would request the volunteers, please be ready to hand over the mementos. I would request Dr. Ishta, please, with the honors. Dr. Farouk, you can join us. Please put your hands together for Dr. Farouk, leading the first recipient is Dr. Abbas Mirafu. Professor Dato Sayyid Usman Al-Habshi. Sayyid Samar Hasnain, Executive Director, State Bank of Pakistan. Mr. Samar Hasnain, Executive Director, Development Finance Group, State Bank of Pakistan. Mr. Irfan Siddiqui, President and CEO, Meezan Bank. Mr. Mahmoud Arshad, Executive Vice President, Pak Qatar General Takaful. Dr. Muhammad Imran Usmani, Group Head, PDSC and Resident Sharia Board Member, Meezan Bank. And finally, our session chair, Deputy Governor, State Bank of Pakistan, Mr. Saeed Ahmed. Please put your hands together for Mr. Saeed Ahmed. Thank you, Dr. Farooq. I would now request Ahmed Ali Siddiqui to please announce the winners of the awards that have been selected, and I would also request Dr. Muhammad Iskandar Shah to please come on stage to announce the best paper award of the year. Dr. Muhammad Iskandar Shah. I request Dr. Farooq Iqbal, Dr. Ishraq Hussain, and Mr. Saeed Ahmad to please come forward to present the Best Papers Award to the recipients.
मेरा यूके का नंबर है ये वाले नंबर पे
So,
व्हाट्सएप हो गया
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim, once again, finally the moment that was waited for long. There are just a brief methodology of how we have given the awards. That would please be joined. Yes. So there were all the papers that we received. We will receive a very overwhelming response from the conference, and there was a lot of abstracts and paper was submitted. And then out of those lot, we selected the top 22 papers for this conference. And all of these papers were excellent. They have very innovative ideas. There were a lot of efforts was done behind each and every paper. So I would just like to acknowledge all the hard work of the academics here, the researchers here. And these awards does not mean that your paper is not important to us or not dear to us, but obviously there are some selection criteria based on which the committee has to decide the top paper. For the World Islamic Finance Forum, the top criteria that was announced and that was followed was originality of the idea, practicality of the concept, the solution to the current Islamic finance industry issue, the academic research, as well as innovation. So based on these five criteria, the committee decided the awards, and I would announce the awards in the reverse order. First, there are four consolation prizes that I will be announcing. So the first consolation prize goes to, for the best paper, goes to Mr. Farooq Habib, whose paper was towards the rural Sharia screening criteria for the stock. It is 500
स्टैचू ऑफ
US
लिबर्टी
dollars.
एक हाथ उठा हुआ है
And the second consolation prize was given to the paper titled Islamic Finance in the Age of Black Swan and Complexity of Humanity for the World. It was written by Professor Abbas Mirapur and Dr. Mumbai Shah. I would request please Professor Abbas is also
स्टैचू ऑफ इस्लामिक फाइनेंस
jointly received
ये
the
आप
award.
लिखिएगा
Is Maurice here? Oh, okay. So
हाँ
now, the third consolation prize goes to the paper titled Financial Innovation, Oversubscription, and Financial Crisis in Islamic Finance. It was written by Dr. Saad Asman, Aisha Ali, and Professor Kabir Hassan. I would request Professor Kabir as well to join us on the stage. And Saad is here. Aisha is here, she can also join us.
आप टाइटल लिखिए स्टैचू ऑफ इस्लामिक फाइनेंस 2016 में 30 साल बाद आपसे मांगूंगा डेट डेट वैसे यहाँ से आवाज़ काफ़ी तेज है
The fourth consolation prize goes to Dr. Iram Saba for his paper on political and active
ये है ना यहाँ
Iram is very nice. Now, for the third prize, actually we have a tie, and there were two papers that were ranked third. The first paper was case study developing an Islamic model into an ethical risk sharing fintech solution by Mr. Ziad Muhammad, and the second paper was Sukuk financing on NRW, which is non-revenue water model, a model of case study of Malaysia by Gansoper Sayyid Tajuddin. On behalf of Mr. Jahan, Dr. Skander, so this award is jointly shared by two papers. Now, the second prize goes to the paper titled Carbon Credit Trading and its Role in Infrastructure PPA Development from a Sharia Perspective. And the writer was Mr. Shakir Siddiq Zakura. I would request his colleague, Mr. Noman, to collect this prize on his behalf. And the prize for the second prize was 3,000 US dollars. And now the final paper, the final prize of 5,000 US dollars goes to the paper titled Stabilizing Economic Growth Through Risk Sharing Macro Instrument, and goes to Sayyid Mohan Rizvi and Dr. Shaista. Yeah. So I'd like to congratulate all the award winners, and once again, all the papers were very good. We had a very tough time in finalizing the awards. So well done to all the candidates. Just as a way, we have just one announcement. Another award is by you can announce the one.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. There's one more award. This is basically a Pacific Basin Journal Award for best academic paper for theoretical contribution and also empirical contribution to Islamic finance. We have reviewed all the 22 papers, and we have decided the best paper for this particular award is Financial Innovation, Oversubscriptions and Financial Crisis in Islamic Finance by Dr. Sa'ad Azman, Haika Ali and Professor Dr. The award comes with US dollar 1,000, US 1,000.
Thank you very much, distinguished panelists. We request you to please take your seats. Now we have two short concluding remarks, and I will give the time to the
So we are now moving ahead towards the closing stages of this conference. For the closing note, I would request Dr. Farooq Iqbal to please come on stage and deliver the address.
Okay. So we are almost at the end. I'm the last but one speaker, and I will be very brief. I just want to say, from a very personal perspective, how much I appreciated the the efforts of all the people who have been involved in producing this workshop, this forum. And I've been really, really impressed with the quality of the papers that came in. Now, I have had a long career at the World Bank. We deal with many topics. Finance is one of them. Islamic finance is also an area in which many people at the bank are involved. But I have never been to an Islamic finance conference where there's a paper on carbon credits. That's very impressive. And I've really not been to many conferences with such a wide sweep where they deal with issues of SMEs, financial inclusion, defaults of the banking system, and so on and so forth. So I was very impressed to see that a lot of people have spent a lot of time thinking about what are the areas in which we should get people to contribute. And also to realize that out there, in the academic world, as well as in the world of practitioners, there are folks who are concerned about the application of Islamic finance principles to everyday issues, not just relating to individuals, not just relating to private decisions about savings, or not relating even just to smaller categories, but large ones, the entire country, large groups of people like small and medium enterprises. That shows a maturity in the community. That shows a vision that is prepared now to deal with these issues on a global scale. So I just want to say this was very impressive. I really have already asked for a copy of all the papers. I understand there were at least 22 of them, so I can see for myself what the details were. Because it's only, one can only present a certain amount in a presentation to a conference. So that's really the only point I want to make is this was very good stuff, and I want to simply record my gratitude on behalf of the Institute of Business Administration, the host of this forum, to all of the people who have been involved, to all of the individuals who put this whole thing together, not just the papers and the academic part of it, but also the organizational part of it. I also want to thank all of our international partners for coming here, for lending this forum the great credibility that comes when you can pull together a global panel where everyone can see that you're not alone in thinking about these issues and trying to tackle some problems, that you have partners, you have other people who are thinking in a like fashion. I also want to thank, on behalf of the IBA, all of the local partners, because now we have plenty. I mean, there's a big list of domestic partners on the board behind me, but there's really more than we can record here. There are many well-wishers now of this entire enterprise, and it's heartening to see that we are at a place that is so far advanced from where it was 20 years ago or so. So thank you all from my side. We are not done yet. I'm the last one speaker. But I just wanted to record a vote of thanks. I hope whoever is here can just put their hands together for the extraordinary effort that is done. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Farooq. And finally, I'd like to invite Dr. Ishrat Hussain, Chairman, CFIBA, for concluding remarks and summarizing the key takeaways from the conference. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Ishrat Hussain.
I think it's quite late and you have been very patient, so I won't be very long. I just want to add my voice to the Dean and Director of IBA, thanking all of you, particularly the international participants who have traveled far places to come and attend this. And this conference would not have been successful without their presence here. And I also want to thank all other participants who have spent 2 days with us. But this is the beginning of the journey, and I hope that you will continue to be participating in the scene. Now, we do not think that one session of 2 days will take us to a roadmap. So the center will now be working with you in order to design a roadmap which will be short term, medium term, and long term. And we will present it to the regulators and to the government, the Ministry of Finance, as to what we were able to extract from this conference, because this was very rich. Just to highlight, there are 3 or 4 important takeaways that we need a proper legal, accounting, supervision, and financial market infrastructure for Islamic finance. There are gaps. There has been a lot of development, but there are still some gaps, and these gaps have to be filled in, and we have to work on that. The second important point, which Dr. Paz Mirahor very ably pointed out yesterday, that we haven't moved on to the essence of Islamic finance, which is the risk sharing. And there is a lot of work which needs to be done in order to switch from the current practices of risk shifting and risk transfer to risk sharing. The third one is that there is a lot of potential for Islamic finance instruments in conjunction with other injunctions of Islam like zakat, sadaqah, awqaf, to get into the lending and financing for less privileged, for the poor segments of the population who do not have financial access, and therefore we should try to make it easy for them. And finally, we have had a lot of research papers, and I do not think I will be able to summarize them, but there are papers which say that our capital markets are only cash-based products right now. The Sharia compliant futures and derivatives for the hedging needs of Islamic financial institution need to be developed. This is something which needs some thinking by both the industry persons, but as well as the Securities and Exchange Commission. And the last point I would like to say is that there was a constant refrain throughout these 2 days that there is a need for sensitizing and making the people of Pakistan aware of what Islamic finance is. There are a lot of misconceptions, both on the right side as well as the left side. And people invent their own interpretations of Islamic finance to demolish the straw man they have constructed. And that is not very helpful. And institutions like ours, which is the CIF, at LUMS, IMS, and IDA, should work together in order to raise the awareness and come up with a model of Islamic finance in simple terms which can be understood by a common man. So with these few takeaways, I want to thank all of those who have survived for the last 2 days. And I also want to thank my team who have worked very hard. I was sitting cozily in Washington while they were doing all the hard work. And I want to give them the due credit for all they have accomplished. Thank you very much.
So now, Dr. Ishaq, on behalf of IBS team, I would also like to thank IBS management and IBS staff who have given full support to IBS team for this conference. We would conclude this conference with dua. I would request Dr. Imran Ashram Usmani to please make dua, and we conclude with this conference with the dua.
सब लोग मजलिस का कफारा है सुभान रब्बिक रब्बिल इज्जति अम्मा यसिफून व सलामुन अलल मुरसलीन वल्हम्दुलिल्लाहि रब्बिल आलमीन पढ़ लें और दुआ कर लें अल्लाहुम्मा सल्लि अला सय्यिदिना व अला मुहम्मद व अला सय्यिदिना व अला मुहम्मद मुबारक वसल्लिम अल्लाहुम्मा रब्बना ज़लमना अनफुसना व इन लम तग़फिर लना व तरहमना लनकुनन्ना मिनल ख़ासिरीन अल्लाहुम्मा रब्बना आतिना फ़िद दुनिया हसना व फ़िल आखिरति हसना व क़िना अज़ाबन नार व अदखिलना जन्नत मअल अबरार या अज़्ज़ या गफ़्फ़ार या रब्बिल आलमीन اللهم انا نسالك من خير ما سالك منه عبدك ونبيك محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم ونعوذ بك من شر ما استعاذك منه عبدك ونبيك محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم या अल्लाह हमारी तमाम दुआएं कबूल फरमा या अल्लाह जो काविशें इस इस्लामिक बैंकारी की और इस्लामिक फाइनेंस की राह में हो रही हैं उसको आप कबूलियत अता फरमा उसको एक्सेप्टेंस अता फरमा और जो हमारे कलीग इस पे काम कर रहे हैं खासतौर पे डॉक्टर शाह साहब और सईद साहब वगैरह इनको कामयाबियां अता फरमा और इनसे बहुत ज़्यादा काम ले और उनको दुनिया और आखिरत के लिए इसके सदका जारिया बना और जो इन्होंने ऐलानात किए कल इसाक डार साहब ने भी कमीशन के सिलसिले में और जो आइन गाँव बनाने के सिलसिले में सही साहब ने ऐलान किया अल्लाह ताला इसको खुशरूबी के साथ आसानी के साथ मुकम्मल करवा दे और आसानी के साथ उसको बनवा दे और या अल्लाह कबूलियत अता फरमा दे और इनके लिए इसको सदका जारिया बना दे और इनके लिए ज़ख़ीर आखिरत बना दे सुभान रब्बिक रब्बिल इज्जति अम्मा यसिफून व सलामुन अलल मुरसलीन वल्हम्दुलिल्लाहि रब्बिल आलमीन
नहीं आ रहा व्हाट्सएप नहीं आ रहा सीधा बच्चे की चीज
मैं सोचे फोटोशॉप से ना हाथ में झंडा पकड़ाने
We'll be taking a group photo, so I request Dr. Ishaq and the others please come on stage because there will be a group photo with all the speakers. I request all the speakers, saying, "Sir, please for just because a certain time is short." Just a quick, I think it won't take more than 10 seconds because the photos are ready. The whole C team wants to have a grab photo.
आपके पास ये आ रही है
नहीं डिफॉल्ट नंबर व्हाट्सएप पे मुझे डिफॉल्ट चेंज करना नहीं डिफॉल्ट
ये ना आपके पास मेरे पास
एक मैसेज को भी भेजते हैं
हमारे
जी अब ऐसे ही आपने कोई नई नंबर से पाकिस्तान का नंबर है इसमें
मोबाइल थोड़ा सा मूव करना आ रहा था पूरा
हाँ
आ रहा था सही
फिनिश कर रहा हूँ
हाँ हाँ चले उस्मान साहब हम लोग भी
जी बिल्कुल ये भेजते मुझे तो भेजते इतनी कभी नहीं करते तो कैमरा भी जल्दी वो तस्वीरें जल्दी जल्दी मांग रहा था नहीं जा रहा था
स्टाइल ठीक है
चलो कोई मसला सिचुएशन सही नहीं चल रही हाँ नहीं हाँ वो जब वो सलाम देगा ना वो इसमें ले लेंगे
हमारी आप खुली भी नहीं हमने भी पहले से लिखा
लास्ट चाहिए ग्रुप फोटो साथ को बोलेंगे आसमान को बोलेंगे
The session proved to be this 2-day session proved to this 2-day session please make some proved to be highly informative and beneficial beneficial for the future for paving the roadmap.
हाँ यार निकाल
अच्छा जॉब
हाँ नहीं थैंक यू नहीं लगा प्लीज़ मुझे पता है कौन सी ग्रुप हो रही है
फाइनेंशियली पाकिस्तान ठीक है कुछ उस्मान पोस्ट कर दो
या
यदि फेसबुक पर पोस्ट कर first thing tomorrow I'm changing the password. He's acting very over small. Friends, he's posting it on Meezan.
हाँ वो हर जगह मिजान सीटी पे पोस्ट कर रहा है
क्यों?
मुझे दो
अच्छा शुक्र है तभी मुझे नजर नहीं आए पोस्ट क्योंकि मैं तो कॉन्स्टेंटली पेज मॉनिटर कर रही हूँ
ये हर चीज़ मिजान सीसीटी पे
वही मैं बताऊँ ये फेसबुक पे कहाँ पोस्ट हो रहा है
मिजान सीसीटी पे पोस्ट
चलो इसको अच्छा आप जाए वो गलत कॉपी पेस्ट है
यार रबा
Let's go coffee. Let's go downstairs. Go get my chain. Big one.
Okay, first thing tomorrow आपको जीना का पासवर्ड चेंज करना है कल आप देंगे क्यों कल आप छुट्टी करेंगे
Come on.
मैं करूँगी जीना का लेना वो इसके पास और एक डिवाइस मेरे पास है ठीक है तो मैं सुबह ही आऊँगी
You're just giving them the booklet for nothing.
सर मुझे डाटा केबल चाहिए जो कल आपने दी थी, मेरी उनसे बात हो गई है। कल आपने एक डाटा केबल दी थी मुझे जो पिक्चर्स ट्रांसफ़र करवाई थी। आप इरती से हैं राइट?
मैंने दी
मैम मैम को बताओ मैम, एक डाटा केबल कल मैंने ली थी आपसे, वो चाहिए। उन्होंने बोला था जैसे सेशन खत्म होगा ले लेंगे। जी नहीं, आपसे ली थी मैंने कल, अभी आज दोबारा चाहिए।
कौन सी डेटा केबल?
मैम मुझे कैमरा से,
आप ये नहीं, आप ये यूज़ कर लो ना।
नहीं ये कैमरा वाली नहीं है,
कैमरा वाली चाहिए।
तो कैमरा वाली थोड़ी सी मोटी होती है आगे।
अच्छा अच्छा, वो केबल चाहिए।
एक ही है बस ये। हाँ
सर मैं
ये वाली। आपके साथ हमें तस्वीर नहीं खिंचवाई। बैग नहीं मिल रहा।
डाटा केबल ही
जुबैर इसके अंदर होगा। ऐसा देखो। जुबैर भी तो जुबैर।
मैं इसमें देख,
क्या
क्या
घर वो मुझे निकाल दें इसमें से डाटा केबल वो वाली जो कैमरे से यूएसबी में जाती है, ग्लास गिर जाएगा सर।
इसमें नहीं है।
आप ये तो नहीं है?
ये तो एंड
वो उन्होंने मुझे बोला था, वो आपको कल भी उनसे मैं लेके गया था, आज भी चाहिए। भाई आज जो कल डाटा केबल ले,
नहीं पड़ी हुई है।
उन्होंने बोला है आपकी जो
ये तो नहीं है। आपकी है वो केबल?
नहीं नहीं आप ही की है।
अच्छा, आपको चाहिए
ये
तो
देखो ये वाला
नहीं तो नहीं है। कैमरे से जो उससे
पीसी
लैपटॉप से कनेक्ट होती है।
वो थोड़ी सी मोटी होती है आगे से।
मोटी नहीं है।
नहीं यार ये लगेगी, वो आपके यहाँ पे कोई बैग रखा हुआ था वहाँ उसमें थी, उन्होंने बोला था बैग हटाएंगे तो साइज में हट जाएंगे। आई थिंक दिस वन, थैंक यू, थैंक्स अ लॉट। नहीं ये नहीं है सर,
ये भी नहीं है।
ऐसी ही थी, ऐसी ही थी।
मिस ये करवा दें।
सुनो, हम तस्वीरें नहीं खिंचवाएंगे, पूरा वक्त जो है ना तस्वीरें छोटी खींचते रहते
के बाद
हमारी के लिए इनको चाहिए नसीब में मांगा था बैग, लेकिन ये रहा बैग नहीं दिया था, ये रहा बैग इसके अंदर वो कह रहे नहीं है वो भी कहीं ना कहीं ये देखा अभी निकल आप ही नहीं ली थी हाँ दी तो थी, लेकिन अब वो उस वक्त नहीं डाल दी वरना हम बैग भी रखते वो नहीं तस्वीरें ही चाहिए इसी में ये तो नहीं है हाँ अच्छा तो मेरा कार्ड रीडर भी साहब इतनी देर से तंग है हाँ बड़ा ही कम होता है